Right, for my jumper, I'm probably going to make two of them. I have two different fabrics here I got from the thrift store. These used to be old tablecloths. I'm going to use this one mainly, and I'll line it with something different. And I just like the pattern on this one. Use it for another one. I have my pattern here. I basically took a dress bodice pattern that would fit me, and I'm just going to make a rectangle skirt, so you really don't need a pattern for the other one. I got these cute little bells from Dollar Tree. I'm going to make some cute bows out of one of these two scrap pieces of Christmas fabric I have. Just like the little peppermints, and this one's kind of classy. I like it. And then I'm going to put green ruffles on both. Didn't have a chance to go to Joann's, but I found this dark green poly cotton at Walmart, and I got two of them. Should be enough. So this is fun. My mother actually used to have a tablecloth similar to this, so I had like fun, happy childhood memories when I saw this. I'm like, I need this. It was only like $2-3. So I'm for continuity purposes, and it has like these giant quilt blocks. I have to cut each piece of my bodice separately so it all matches up. So that's what I'm going to do now. And cut out the straps, so I'll be back. So I'm actually going to use my little cutting mat I got from Shein here to use as a ruler for my cutting. And I'm going to make... I just unrolled the roll from Walmart. I laundered my other fabric because anything you get from the thrift store you should wash. I should probably wash this too, but it's just going to be ruffles, and I'm not too really worried about it. So I'm going to cut this. I like big ruffles, so I'm going to cut this at 5.5. Yeah, I'll do 5.5. Actually, no, I'm going to do 6. So I'll cut this at 6-inch strips. And I always like to have 2 rows of ruffles. So I think more ruffles, the cuter. And that's what I'm going to do. If it's not enough, I can just cut up the other one. Last time I made ruffles, I had extra ruffles. So 2 yards should be sufficient. I decided I'm going to go with this fun, nostalgic, vintage Christmas quilt pattern because it's been a crappy year and we need something festive. So I'll use the other fabric for my jumper for next year. Like jumper skirts, they're very easy to make. If I remember, I will link this other YouTuber. I love her channel. She does like really simple cosplay and Lolita costumes. Her name's Yumi King. She's super adorable, and she just had a baby, and I'm just like, yes, girl, yes. She's so cute. But she has really fun and easy to follow tutorials, and this I'm not going to use. But I will cut 2 strips for my bow middles from it. So I'm just going to cut 2 2-inch strips. I'm going to use this for the straps. That'll work. That way my straps match my ruffles. That'll look really cute. Pieces here. And I actually like the size of this mat. I'm going to use this to cut my bows. I can just fold it in half and that'll be to visualize all of this. I think that will look cute. Yeah, okay. This is not the cutting mat's intended purpose, but I'm using what I got here. Cute bow. Okay, I have my bow pieces together. Now I'm going to cut my fabric pieces out. I have to go find a lining fabric to see what I have lying around. Alright, so I got all of my pieces cut out. I cut 2 long rectangles out of the leftover Christmassy fabric. I got my bow pieces here, the ruffles, and the bodice pieces. I'm using this bright red for the lining. And I'm just going to turn on Miss Flo here. Say hi, Flo. There she go. And I'm just going to serge all the edges, and I'll go back to the sewing portion. Alright, I have serged everything. Took a minute, so I'll start with the straps. I got less than 24 hours to make this thing. It's gonna be fun. Between serging every piece and making the ruffles, that's the more labor-intensive part of this. And gathering this skirt, which I'll probably do by hand. It's been kind of funny about gathering lately. She's been very vocal about her dislike for it. I'm just waiting for my socks to come in. They're supposed to arrive today. Hopefully they're not delayed and they'll be here tonight. If not, I'll just have to find something else to wear. I have a pair of shoes I'm going to wear. Not the color I want, but they'll do. It's just for a day. Alright, got one. Yay. Slowly making progress. I'll get the other one. I think I'm going to seal up one of the ends just to make it easier. Just push it all the way through. I'll get your corners. Doesn't matter if the ends are going to be encased anyways, so. And we're done. Alright, straps are done for now. The pressing pile. And then I'm going to do the bow next. Bows are simple. So this is apparently directional, so I'm going to make sure all of my trees are facing up. Sandwich right sides together. Get my pins, and I'm going to pin all the way around. And leave a opening, kind of like a pillow, just leave a small opening at the bottom to turn it inside out. And we'll flip it, clip the corners, and all that jazz. We're forgetting measure. Okay. So you see I have it pinned. I put 2 pins this way so I know where to start and where to stop. So I'm just going to start at this pin, go all the way around, and stop at this pin. And this I'm going to stitch at, because I want a big bow, so I'm just going to stitch at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So to do that, I just lined up the edge of the fabric with my presser foot to use it as a guide. And then I like to back stitch at the corners to reinforce my corners. You don't have to, but I just like to do it. And that So you clip all your threads. And then the scissors. And you just clip your corners. Just go straight across. All 4 corners. Don't cut through your threads. And I'm using green thread. So I have green ruffles, and I just figured I'll just stitch all of it with the green thread. Anyways, so, ooh. I need to make friends with my seam ripper. Okay, I'm with them picking all the seams. I was gonna leave it, then I was like, no. So, we're just gonna do the same steps as before, but just remember, put your fabric right sides together. And if it's directional, make sure it's going the same direction. Right sides together. Push out my corners. Side shut. Get the bow middle, fold it. Short side, I'm just folding down. It's gonna stitch across. I just need fabric tack here. Okay. I'm just gonna take these white edges and fold them towards the center and tack it down with some fabric tack. All right, just gonna give this a little stretch. Take my bow, scrunch it in the middle. I'm gonna lay that flat and do it. Looks good, look cute. And then I'm just going to take my bow end, the white side, just put a drop of glue here, there, wrap it around. I always make the bow tie middles really big. I always end up having to like cut them down, which I'm gonna do here. So I'm just gonna cut off this excess and just fold it in and glue it down. Sure, and then I'm just gonna adjust it how I want it. Make sure it's even. I'm gonna have it upside down. There we go. Right side up. And then I'm just gonna take my little bell here and just glue it in the center. This jingle bow. So I don't know if I want to glue this on the jumper or put it in my hair yet. Haven't decided. Next, I have, the insane task of ruffling. So I'm going to use this other scrap bow middle and test my gathering on my machine because, like I said, Bert's kind of iffy with gathering. So I'm going to put the machine on the longest stitch, the widest stitch, and the longest. I got this backwards. Okay, there we go. Play around with some buttons. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to test this. Let's see. Just playing around. It seemed to have worked a little. So I'm going to stitch all of my pieces together, the short end. I'm going to have a really, really, really long strip. And then I'm going to power through and gather all of it. That's the plan anyways. Make sure my bobbin is full for this. I have to thread another one. So to make this easier, I'm just chain piecing all of my strips together. It's a quilting technique. Save thread, So basically, you just start with one strip, piece it together, and then you attach the end to the next strip. And then I just kind of fold it in half, the one that I just stitched together, and then I just take the next one and line it up with this one. It's hard to explain, to show you. And then you don't, well, I back stitch and I forward stitch and I back stitch, and then I just leave a couple of loose threads after. Normal chain piecing, you don't, you just run it straight through. And the piece I just sewed, I find out if I do it this way, I don't have any pieces going the wrong way. All the seams are facing the right way. So this is chain piecing. Does have my long chain here, and now I'm just gonna clip each thread in between each one, and I'll have my super long strip. All right, very long strip. Oh, before I gather this, I have to hem all the outside edge. I could leave it since I serged it, but I really don't want white on the tips of my ruffles. So I'm just gonna roll hem this. But the serging helps with that. Thread one. Oops. And then I'm just gonna open these middle seams flat and then do my rolled hem. Little bits at a time. This is gonna take a minute, so I'll be back when I'm done. So I started ruffling. I may have to do this twice because with this poly cotton doesn't like to ruffle really well. So I'm just gonna do 2 rows. I didn't back stitch. I'm just gonna run it straight through and then I'll do it again. I asked for a ruffler foot for Christmas, so I might get one. Find out. Let's see if Santa Claus will bring it to me. Anyways, so that's what I'm gonna do and I'll be back. Ended up playing bobbin roulette with Bert, and she won. But luckily I got another bobbin here. Not happy with these ruffles. So I'm hoping when I do the second row, it'll look more ruffly. Otherwise I'm gonna have to do it by hand, and that's gonna take forever. But wish me luck. So I'm getting it to kind of look the way, kind of get the ruffles the way I want, and I'm just forcing it a bunch under the foot at once. It's hard to get it, keep it straight as you do it. And right now, it's force feeding. So I'm gonna go finish this, and then I will attach it to the skirt, and then I'll get the bodice pieces and the straps. Ruffles are done. They're not as cute as I had wanted them, but they're done. They'll work. Excited. My socks came from Amazon just in time too. I've bought these before. They're like Japanese schoolgirl socks, but they're thigh highs, and they actually like stay up on my thigh and don't roll down. They're actually really awesome. So yeah, I'm excited. Make sure you reset your machine off the gathering stitch before you continue. or else she'll have, yeah, it'll just be bad. So I'm going to stitch this, actually, my skirt together at 5/8. I'll stitch the rest of the garment at 5/8. And I will have to gather the top part of the skirt onto the bodice, but I'll do that when I get there. And I might do that by hand, depending on how, the time. I'm going to take the ruffle, and I have to attach it on the bottom.